Hello everybody, Landa here, and with the new year, I've decided to try to beat as many games as I can. In the past, I've just played through parts of games, maybe I just didn't get around to finishing it, or I was playing online multiplayer games taking up all my time. Well, that is going to be different this year, at least that is my hope, and I am taking on this challenge. Now, the first game I've actually beaten this year is in fact Super Mario Bros. Wonder, a game that released last year and was even a nominee for Game of the Year. But how does it actually hold up? Well, before I get to that, I think I should let you know my experience with 2D platformers in general and Mario platformers. I was largely introduced to Mario 2D platformers by New Super Mario Bros. Wii. I remember I'd play it with my siblings, my family in general, just play that game a lot. Well, since that start, I've played a decent amount of Mario 2D platformers. I've played a lot of the old stuff, so the first, Mario Bros, Mario Bros 2, Mario Bros 3, Mario World. I've played New Super Mario Bros. So a little bit of New Super Mario Bros. U. So I've played a lot of Mario 2D platformers. But here's the thing. Only two of those games had actually stood out as being really good in my opinion. Those games are Super Mario Bros. 3 and Super Mario World. The rest of the games, especially when it comes to all the new Super Mario Bros. Games, are all pretty much carbon copies. I mean, not exactly, but they feel very similar and very bland. Now, I can excuse New Super Mario Bros. For this because at the time it was actually new. It was something different. However, all the games after that had just kind of taken that formula, and so that kind of just leads to me having this kind of jaded opinion of Mario 2D platformers. And the thing is, I'm not even necessarily a huge platforming fan in general. Now, don't get me wrong, I've had some good fun with 2D platformers. Again, I've mentioned Mario Bros. 3 and Mario World, but there's also other ones like Donkey Kong Country games. Those are fun, and then 3D platformers tend to be fun too. But platforming is not exactly my favorite genre. I like shooters and RPGs more, so you really have to do something impressive for me to really enjoy you as a 2D platformer. Fortunately, Super Mario Bros. Wonder is that game, and that is what I'm going to be talking about in this review. So let's just get right into this. When I first watched the reveal of Super Mario Bros. Wonder in that Direct, the first thing I thought was Mario Bros. On LSD. And yeah, that's pretty much what it is with the Wonder effects. It is a very unique concept and basically the perfect evolution of the Mario Bros. Series after games like Mario Maker really just kind of showed what you can do with a Mario game. I think that is all excellent, but it also just is simple to get into. Mario Bros. Wonder is not difficult to get into at all. The controls are very simple, and they're very much like the controls of all the other 2D platformers, and that also goes for the difficulty. It's not a very hard game. I beat it really easily, and again, I'm not even really a great platform gamer. Like I'm more in the RPG shooter kind of area than platforming, but I beat this game without a problem, and I had a great time. It's very simple. You really don't have to think too hard about the controls, but I also think it's rewarding enough. If you're really good, you can get some cool combo jumping, whatnot, especially when you combine the badges with the whole experience. It is pretty good for both people who are not as good at platformers and people who are excellent at platformers. So, right there, that's a great thing right off the bat. I hinted at this a little when I was talking about the evolution of Mario Maker, but this game has great level design because Mario Maker showed just how creative people could get with the Mario platformer medium. It really just showed people's creativity, and you wonder, alright, so how is Nintendo going to up this? How are they going to create something that is their own version of basically like a Mario Maker level? And they really went to show that with Mario Wonder. Each of these levels are really interesting, and there's some elements that are borrowed from past Mario games, obviously, but there's also just new concepts, new things that you just haven't seen yet. And I think it's just a really good level design, and of course that's advanced and enhanced by the Wonder Effects, which are acid trips in and of themselves. But before I get into that, I do also just want to mention all the new enemies and characters in this. It's great, really, because first off, you can play as a bunch of characters, not just it's not just Mario, Luigi, and the two Toads like it was in pretty much all the new Super Mario Bros. Games. No. This time you can play as those characters, but also Peach, Daisy, Nabbit, and a bunch of Yoshis. And it is really quite a roster. It is definitely an improvement upon what the new Super Mario Bros. Games had. And there's also, of course, Prince Florian. He's a new character. You got the Poplins, who are kind of like the Flower Kingdom version of Toads. And you have a whole bunch of new enemies. You got the Hoppos, the what are they called? The Dart Birds. I really should have figured out what all these names were. But you know, you got a whole variety of new antagonists, new enemies. There's the mummies where you have to unravel them to kill them. I mean, just things like that. Really unique concepts for villains, or not villains, but goons. And I haven't really seen that as much in the past couple decades of new Super Mario Bros. Games. So right off the bat, that's great. But then you get Wonder Effects that just turn everything on its head. Each level has its own unique Wonder Effect. And it's hard to really say because they all just do different things. Sometimes you're jumping across a horde of running rhinos. Other times you are walking around as piranha plants are singing a musical. There's even one where you ride on Yoshi-like dragons. I mean, this is just a taste of all that there is in these Wonder Effects. And it is awesome. It is really fun. You just wonder, alright, what's this level's Wonder Effect going to be like? You see the Wonder Flower and you're like, oh boy, now this is the real fun part. It's great. And I'll get into this soon. But the visuals also really help with the Wonder Effects. There's a lot of interesting art styles and animations that are done for the Wonder Effects. And really just this game, it would already be pretty good without the Wonder Effects. You know, it would be an improvement upon the new Super Mario Bros. Games. But the Wonder Effects just make it even more great, as to where I can actually put this up there with Mario Bros. 3 and Mario World as a top 3 Mario 2D platformer. If there was one word I could use to describe the visuals of this game, I'd say personality. Mario Bros., the new Super Mario Bros. Specific, was very bland. It was just corporate, basic animation style, everything just totally standard and boring. That's all I have to really say about it. It was just boring. There was nothing really there to interest someone. Well, Wonder takes that and is just like, no, we're going to do something totally different. Each of the characters have their own little like animations for entering pipes, leaving pipes, walking, jumping, getting power-ups. I mean, there's so many animations for all these little aspects, and they each have personality. Like Mario trying to grab his hat when he's going in the pipes. You don't see that in the other Mario Bros. Games. They definitely wanted to make an impression with that art style. And I got into this before, but the different art styles chosen for some of the Wonder Effects are great. The one that sticks out to me is the ones where it's kind of like a silhouetted image, and you can crouch and go really small, or not crouch and be very long, I guess. I don't know. And that is a whole different art style, just completely different from the rest of the game. And there's other Wonder Effects that are similar to that. And also, I think the music of this game is great. It really just reminded me of Mega Man music in a way. Like, there are just aspects I'm like, you know, I could totally see this in a Mega Man game. I don't know. It just sounds like a modernized Mega Man game in some parts. But also just, it's unique in its own right. Much more interesting than the new Super Mario Bros. Games music. I know I keep ripping on them, but honestly, I was so tired of them. I was so bored of them. And this game basically brings back my faith in Mario 2D platformers. But yeah, the whole, like, Bowser's Castle sections with all the musics, the rock music and all that, and the final boss, It's not the most difficult, but man, it is just a fun, like, you're just grooving out, you're playing, and you're bopping your head. Like, it's practically like a rhythm game. It's like Hi-Fi Rush, which I want to play that eventually. But you just get, it's definitely trying to be something different. It's trying to be something that you can remember. And I think it definitely deserved its win in the Best Family Game of the Year category of the Game of the Year awards. Lastly, I just want to briefly speak upon the future of 2D platformers, and I can actually say this, the bright future of the 2D platformers. I think that for a while I was just sick of them. A lot of people were sick. It's not just me. And they were just going downhill. They were stale. And I definitely wouldn't have said that there was any sort of bright future for these games. Well, Mario Wonder decided that they were going to just change it all up, and it is paying off. I think the amount of success this game has gotten, the amount of praise it's gotten, is going to actually insinuate more games such as this. But again, I don't want games exactly like this, because then you're just going to run into another New Super Mario Bros. Situation. So I think the future Mario Bros. Games, what they should do is not copy Mario Bros. Wonder, or just make Wonder 2 and make it just like Wonder, but with new levels and Wonder effects. No, I want them to take the idea of Wonder, the creativity behind Wonder, and plug that into something new that's like Wonder did, but also different from Wonder. And so basically take the idea of Wonder, but not just the gameplay and exactly like Wonder. Make your own thing using the concept of creativity. I think that could go really well for Mario platformers, and who knows, maybe I'll actually be like a Mario platforming fan, and just a platforming fan in general. Who knows? But yeah, I did really enjoy this game. A lot of positive things to say, as you can see. Alright, now it's time for my final rating. I'm going to give this game a 7.5 out of 10. That seems low maybe, but it's really not. I think that's a really good solid thing, because again, 2D platformers are not generally my thing. So for a 2D platformer to get to 7.5, I think that's actually a really good accomplishment. It is up there with Mario Bros. 3 and Mario World as the best Mario 2D platformers, and one of my favorite 2D platformers of all time, really. I think it's an excellent game. If you're on the fence about it, I'd say, go pick it up. I mean, yeah, it's $60, and I know some people have qualms with that, and that's fine. I'm not going to say that $60 is all that cheap or anything, but it is a pretty standard price. But, whether or not you're willing to pay, just feel free to check it out, even if it's at a friend's house or something. Like, I think it's just an excellent 2D platformer, and especially if you were like me and you were getting sick of Mario 2D platformers, I'd say give this one a shot and just see how improved it is. Or if you still just don't care for it, then that's fine too. But again, I enjoy this game personally, so 7.5 is my rating. As always, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review format. Again, my goal is to review every game I beat in 2024. So, I just beat Mario Wonder, so reviewing that. Getting close to finishing Fire Emblem, so I might have a review of that up next. We'll see. But yeah, this is my hope, and again, thanks for all the support you give, and until next time, see ya.